Welcome to Flip It Furniture. This video is going to be a trash to treasure makeover. My dad found this nightstand on the side of the road and picked it up. It's in pretty great condition. The drawers look really nice. It looks like it could have been in a little girl's room. So I want to give it a makeover that's worthy of a little princess. Let's flip it. I start this makeover by cleaning my piece with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. Then I use my water mister and a rag to make sure I've wiped down all the cleaner residue. The surface of this entire nightstand is really shiny, so I'm going to use my slick stick, which is a bonding primer. I use this first because I don't want to apply my chalk paint or it will definitely peel off. I do 2 coats of the slick stick and I wait 2 hours in between coats before applying the next, and then I wait till the next day to put my chalk paint on. Here I'm going to use my Dixie Belle's mud to fill in the holes. I don't want to use the pulls that came with the nightstand. Instead, I want to use a knob, so I'm going to fill in the 2 holes with this and wait for it to dry. It's a couple hours later and it's dried, so I take my sanding block and I just sand it smooth. I'm not really worried if it's indented or kind of rough because we are going to apply a mold that will cover that. And while I'm at it, I sand the top of the dresser because sometimes when I use slick stick, it leaves some brush lines, so I just smooth it out. Now we're going to use a pink. This is Dixie Belle's Tea Rose, and I do 2 coats of this. I apply it with my water mister. Now we're going to make our molds, and I use amazing casting resin. I buy it off of Amazon, and I have my mold from Redesign with Prima. I also got off Amazon. I have a very in-depth video on how I make the molds, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave it right here. But here I just mix equal parts of A and B. I mix it around for about 30 seconds, and then I carefully pour my molds. When you pour your resin into molds that have really skinny detailing, you want to be very slow so that you don't over pour. And you can even use your stick to push it through to all the sides. You want to make sure you get in every little detail. So here, before I remove my mold, I make sure that I take all the parts that maybe overflowed and I just pick them off. It's easier for me to do this when it's still in the mold than off of the mold. Now I push from the bottom of the mold and I just kind of push the resin right out. And now I want to paint this in Rust-Oleum's metallic silver paint, which is oil-based. So here I want to drill a hole straight through the center of my mold so I can apply this knob. I just measure the back of the knob so that my hole isn't too big. We want it to be just perfect. I had a hard time getting a good shot, so I know it looks like this is dangerous, but it's really not, I swear. My fingers are far enough away. I'm not going to drill a hole in them. So now I grabbed the drawer and I'm going to drill a hole right in between the other two holes. And that's going to be our hole for our new pull. Now I go in with my sanding sponge and I just want to smooth all the paint out. It's pretty smooth anyway, but I just want to make sure that we have no hairs or anything like that that's stuck in there. I seal the drawer using Dixie Belle's clear coat in satin, and I use 2 coats of this, waiting for it to dry in between coats. I've already sealed it with the clear coat, but I want to go over the top because this probably will be in a little girl's room. So I go over the top with 2 coats of gator hide, and I wait about an hour in between those coats. Now we want to apply our mold, so I'm going to use Tillden's premium wood glue, and I use my little paintbrush to get all the details. Applying mold with really thin details is kind of tricky. When you put it on, a little bit of your glue comes out, and I don't like the yellow way that it dries. So I just take my chip brush and I kind of dab it, and it just goes away. It just gets dabbed onto my chip brush, and sometimes I occasionally wipe the chip brush down, but it works really good. Now I want to add my knob, and it is still wet with glue, but the knob will actually help keep it in place. I could have added more details with the silver on the nightstand, but I sort of wanted to have this balance. I didn't want it to be too much. Pink is a really bold color, and these details really pop, so I think it's just enough. And here it is, all finished. I am really in love with this nightstand. I think it would be super cute in any little girl's room. Actually, I think it would be super cute in any adult's room too. I wish you could see this in person because the finish really is satin on top of the tea rose. It looks so smooth and it almost sparkles. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next week.